The last phase of the Turning Point experience has to do with how the resistance is able to symbolically strike a blow of victory that hopefully will inspire other people to continue to fight to keep liberty alive.
New York's a big city, and there's a lot to learn in that area. There's a subway tunnel that might lead to a rooftop that takes you behind the scenes of where all their snipers are, so you can take out all their snipers and clear a path for people to move on, to get on the train and leave the city. Why you go to Washington is because you're told that there's a resistance down there, and that they're banding together and they're going to join up as one major force to push back the Germans. When you're in Washington, you realize that the Germans are totally onto your game. You lose the first fight in Washington, all your safe houses get compromised. The next step is finding the puppet president that they put in power. And we're going to tell him, you're not doing this. And if he doesn't listen, we're going to kill him and we're going to blow up the White House and we're going to move on. Because that puts out a big message to the Nazis. You can occupy our land, but you're not going to occupy us and what we believe in.
One of the important things about Turning Point is that we didn't want an alternative history that was a science fiction, made-up universe. The Nazis don't have lasers or spaceships or some kind of particle-based weaponry. We really wanted them to have the kinds of weapons that they were developing toward the end of World War II that were left on the drawing boards. We've tried to realistically move forward their weapons to what they might have had they not lost the war.
I'm Dean Martinetti, producer on Turning Point Fall of Liberty. As an American in Turning Point, we don't have the high-tech weaponry like the Germans do. The human shield's part of the grapple system. So instead of like beating the guy over the head with his weapon, turn him around, use him as a shield, and I could pull out the pistol that he has as a sidearm. The MP50, the G47, the G49, the G48 carbine. The carbine is a semi-automatic machine gun that has a high rate of velocity. It can shoot multiple rounds per second, and it has a scope on it. You could literally like beat in on a guy's eyebrow on this gun just to take him out. The Rat, the Mouse. Mouse is a German tank, a smaller tank like an Abrams side. The Rat is a super tank. It's a battleship on land that takes out blocks with one shot, you know?
And as this wave of destruction hits New York, you're there just trying to keep the war at bay long enough to have a hope of survival.
The blimps that we have in Turning Point, you have the massive warship, destroyer-sized ships. They're aircraft carriers in the sky, basically. The mothership Zeppelin is the size of 3 football fields. It's just a massive warship. These are the kind of things that you're going to see in Turning Point. The amount of technology that the Germans use in the first quarter of the game alone fills more than most games fill from start to finish.